شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. الحمد لله ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء سيدنا مولانا Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we want to look at the topic ignoring the ignorant ones. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the glorious Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما. And the servants of the most merciful are those that tread the earth humbly. وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. And when the ignorant ones address them, they say peace. And here, if we were to look at the meaning of that jahilun, it doesn't literally mean those that don't know something. It means the foolish ones. Those that are foolish, that are fools, that try to instigate one. And then, what they will respond to them is to say salam. And this attitude is one of humility, whereby we as Muslims, we should be humble when we address people, because the foolish ones will come to address us. And looking at a short story from the life of one of our pious predecessors, who is Abu Bakr, whereas a man came to him in the mosque and was addressing him, was yelling at him, shouting at Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr didn't answer him. And then Abu Bakr stood up to leave the mosque. And this man followed him again and said, Wa iyaka, oh you Abu Bakr, I am speaking to you, listen to me, return back my words to me. And Abu Bakr said he won't respond back to him. And then this man said, I would abuse you such that this abuse will follow you to your grave. And just to imagine this scenario whereby we have this kind of things happening on social media in our life, whereby people just try to trail you, try to abuse you, try to make you angry, and then find attention in you. So this man said this to Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr said, no, I want your abuse to follow you to my grave. Rather, it will follow the sins of your abuse to follow it down to your grave. And then this man again, out of his way of finding, and this is a leader that had the power to say, punish this man, take him away from me. But then Abu Bakr didn't do this. And then he said again to him again that this man said, if you were to respond to me with one word, I will return back to you 10 of that similar word. And then Abu Bakr said that if you were to say back to me 10 words, I would not respond to you with even one word. So this is whereby a practical approach of this particular verse. And then also, coming to the story of Umar ibn Khattab again, Allah said in another part of the Quran, whereby Allah said, خُذِ الْعَفْوَ وَأْمُرْ بِالْعُرْفِ وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that be forgiving to people, like have a way of whereby you pardon people. وَأْمُرْ بِالْعُرْفِ, command what is good, وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ, and then also stay away from the jahilin, the ignorant ones. So whereby a man came and then he entered upon Umar ibn Khattab in his house. And then he also came again and he came to accuse him, whereby he said to him that, oh, Khalifa, you have been unjust to us. You did not share the property among us well. And then in a way trying to make him angry. And then one of his companions said to him that, what pardon this man, and then what command is good and what stay from me is one of the jahilin. So this is whereby we as Muslims, is that we should learn that we should be disciplined. We don't have to respond to everybody. We have to have this to tolerate people and then not respond to everybody that speaks to us, because verily some are really trying to bring in our anger, to find a problem in us. Like some Christians came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they actually came to accept Islam. They heard the word of Islam and then they were pleased with it. And then the likes of Abu Jahl came and they tried to make it saying that, oh, you people have come again and then come to do things like this, come to accept Islam again. And what would they say? They said, Lana a'malna wa lakum a'malikum. Similar thing like, well, you have your ways, we won't respond to you, we will not answer it because this is where you do. But we have our own better way of relating in terms of this. So this is just to make us that we need to be disciplined, we need to be very, very to tolerate people and then act in ways whereby we are good. And also these things helps us in spreading Islam in a very good way, whereby people see this good manner in us and they respect us, and then also we're able to bring peace to the world. Whereby I said, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. And then also is that as Muslims, it also assists us in staying away, because if you were to follow that foolish person into his argument, he will definitely win you, because he is trying to bring you into a state of foolishness. And that way, we as Muslims are not foolish. But once we respond to them, then they have the floor to easily what? To mess you up and then disgrace you. So whereby this is all a short learning whereby we should learn to also what? When a foolish one comes to us, someone that tries to make us angry, we tell them peace, we avoid them in the best possible way and in a very, very good way. And by doing this, we'll be following that verse of the Quran in Surah Al-Furqan where Allah said that وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When the ignorant ones address them, when they try to seek their attention, they say to them, Salama. Now, and also looking at the ignorant ones, and whereby we should take a lot of benefits from this is that the ignorant ones could be from among our friends, our family members, our close relatives. And then why we need to be to act in a peaceful way with them is because it could actually be a family relative whereby when you respond to them, you would cause more harm than causing more good. Whereby such a person addresses you and then they come to act with you. And also it could be in a community also. And this is whereby we as Muslims, we learn to have good conduct in relating with people in the community and also in our masjid in different parts of the world whereby we act together. And this is where we learn from this verse that we as Muslims should say Salamu. And then also it actually shows our level of Islam, whereby we have good character, good conduct as Muslims. Because the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that the best of you are those that have good characters. And then also in another hadith it said that what the best of you are those who have long life and have good deeds and good character. So when we have this way of avoiding the foolish ones, it's a way whereby we spread Islam. We do down to people, whereby they say that this particular person was being abused, we've tried to do things to him, but it's a way of testing him, and they can actually say this person is truly accountable. He is someone of good relationship, good attitude. And then also, from this also, it assists us in avoiding staying away from sins. Because when you respond to the foolish people, either you know it or you don't know it, in one way or the other, you might end up committing sin. You might end up even abusing them and bringing yourself down to a place whereby you will later eat in the future, in later time. So we as Muslims will learn that we should have this good ethic, this good behavior, whereby when someone abuses us or relates us in a bad manner, and here is Ramadan, whereby we are fasting, the rule says that when someone comes to you, tries to fight you or tries to annoy you, what do you say? Say, in saw him. You control yourself. We have this restraint as Muslims. So here also is having this restraining ourselves from committing sin, from responding to everybody, whereby we save ourselves of time and then rather we stay in the masjid, we try to do more acts of worship, gain more reward, and then remove ourselves from committing sin. And lastly, it helps us to gain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whereby Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also, He will be pleased to when Allah sees that this is my servant, my ibad, is being abused, is being made angry, but rather in responding to them, He chooses to act in a good way. It makes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with us, and He loves us in that way. And in this way, we be from among the servants of the most merciful. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this easy for every one of us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان